Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile, but then if you're so smart, tell me why you're still so afraid. Where's the fire? What's the hurry about? You better cool it off before you burn it out. You got so much to do and only so many hours in the day. Hey. But you know that when the truth is told that you can get what you want or you can just get old, you're gonna kick off before you get halfway through. Ooh, when will you realize the construction life's for you?
Matt, thanks so much, man.
Thank you, Manny.
Oh, dude, it's good to meet you, man.
That's awesome.
We chatted a few times, had really long conversations about this industry and what you do and what's going on and all kinds of stuff. So we got, let's record it.
Let's do it. Let's put it on tape.
Thanks so much for being coming to the studio and being a part of the show.
Thanks for having me, man. This is awesome. Nice little setup you got here.
Thanks, man.
This is awesome.
No, we like to try to hospitality, a little bit. But I do thank you so much for,
absolutely.
I was wondering when this was going to possibly get used or whatever, but also the speaker that you brought me, which is insane, man.
Yeah, so
I love that so much, and a hoodie too, man.
A hoodie?
I'll be sporting that.
Yeah, let me
totally
know.
be sporting
Absolutely.
that. Let me tell everybody who's here. So Matt McCarthy's here, M&J Electric, www.mjelectric.ca, and your email is mmccarthy@mjelectric.ca and also info@mjelectric.ca.
That's right.
And then on Instagram, it's M and the word and J Electric.
That's right.
Shout out to Dan Wall, Covenant. Yes. I always got to look at Angelina because she's smarter than me.
Yeah, she's the one that runs it all.
That's all it is. So I'm wearing his tee, Covenant House. Thank you so much. Today is going to be electrical day.
It's electrical. It's 101.
I love having conversations with electricians, man.
Yeah.
Because you guys know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Most. I want to start off. We're going to get to the nitty gritty.
Go.
I want to put it to rest right now. I see all these Instagrams, TikToks.
You're going to talk about vacuums or brooms?
I'm going to talk about vacuums or brooms.
Okay, all right.
I want to tell you one thing.
Okay.
If your electrician is not cleaning up after himself, you got the wrong one. And I will say it right now.
That's bottom line.
I've been doing this. I look like a young guy. I'm 30.
Yeah, he's 19 years, man.
19 years. Actually, I looked at my license the other night. It's 20 years now.
How old are you, man?
I'm 37.
Wow.
I started when I was 17, dropped out of high school, and went right into it.
Right into the trades?
Yeah. And then, unfortunately, I had to do night school
to finish,
start the apprenticeship and do all that. But yeah, got right into it from day one. Worked during the day, went to night school at night, and here we are.
Did you get a lot of flack being so young and coming into construction? Like, who are you, kid?
It's such a stigma. I don't want to say construction was different back then, but it was.
Yes, it was.
And it was this old mentality. And you hear everyone jokes, foreman throwing stuff at you. That's, right or wrong, it doesn't matter, but that's the way it was. And there was definitely, I would say, a lot more respect when it came to, as the young guy, what your job was. You weren't entitled. When I started, we didn't have battery tools. We had hacksaws,
cordless, with a 1-inch auger on it, with a handle, with no anti-kick,
and wind it up, right? So so my job, even though you start at 6, guess what? I'm there at 5:40, opening the job boxes, running thousands of feet of extension cords because we didn't have cordless tools. And you know what? At 6 a.m. when guys showed up, you're working at 6. You're not just showing up at 6 and having your coffee and
the slow roll
into
the day.
6 o'clock, that foreman better hear things moving, because if not, you're going to hear those. He was a big Portuguese guy, Nuno. And you hear him coming, man.
What was that, on commercial sites?
Commercial. So I've always done commercial since day one, commercial, institutional, and a little bit of industrial.
That's where you guys have to, and I'm not dismissing the res.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more thought process going on in commercial.
Yeah. No, I agree. I see what you're saying. Like when you're coming into, we can parallel runs for services and bigger stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a lot more. You're doing anything from fire alarm to security to Cat 6 data cabling, lighting, you're doing all of that.
Conduit work. All kinds of conduit work.
4-inch conduit.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
How do you bend 4-inch conduit?
We have a electric bender.
Really?
Yeah.
For 4-inch?
Yeah, if you have enough money, you can use all prefab from the supplier.
That's too expensive, though. You can't make money that way.
No.
Especially on a commercial.
No. But the benders out there now, they're high tech, but they're expensive. I think Greenlee has one out there for like 20 grand, 25 grand.
For a 4-inch?
I could be wrong. Someone let me know, but I think it's up there. But I mean, they're all digital now. I've seen one where you can set the degrees of bends that you want, like a computer, and it does it for you, and it moves the pipe along and all that. Yeah.
It's like a table rig.
It's
or
like
something?
a table, yeah, a table
Really?
bender. We call it table bender.
Oh,
yeah.
that must be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, super
Seriously.
cool. So, so my first company I was at, I was there for. I've only ever worked for 2 companies. My first company I was there.
That says a lot. First of all, Matt, that says a lot.
Yeah.
Instead of you just jump in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's a better raise somewhere else.
Yeah,
right?
you see guys now with resumes. They think it's good that they have 18 different. No, it's
a question.
You're not there longer than 8 months. What's
going on?
Right?
You were rubbing someone wrong, or they were rubbing.
You're a
you?
dollar chaser, right?
Something like that.
So
yeah.
But I was the first company I was there for 15 years. And learned so much there. Big company, medium size, like 40 guys, 30 guys.
That's a big company,
right?
Yeah.
They had a dated like cabling division though. That was a part of that. Maybe electricians, they had 20.
All new commercial work or
mostly new.
Okay.
A lot of some renovations. We did a lot of work downtown Toronto, Queens Park. Got to see a lot of cool stuff with that company. Didn't leave on bad terms. Just I moved out west, like not out west. I moved into Cambridge area.
Yeah, out of the GTA.
Out of GTA.
Yeah.
They did a lot of East End work. It became a lot for the especially starting at 6 a.m. working in Scarborough from Cambridge.
That's the unfortunate thing. If you're a tradesperson in Toronto, you expect to drive at least a minimum an hour each way.
And people think an hour. If I'm an hour, that's
you're lucky.
Yeah, that's no problem. I'll do that all day,
man.
So, and I was like, I had company truck, and it wasn't had nothing to do with that. It was my time, and we had discussions about it. They tried to accommodate me. It just didn't work out. So, I moved on to another company. I was there for 5 years, and that's when I decided to open up this one.
After that, how was your experience becoming an apprentice and working with Journey, and then getting that whole thing outside of the razzing and all this other?
Yeah,
crap?
no, that was okay. You know what? The company I was in where I started out was amazing because it was a lot of family.
Okay,
a lot of family, uncles, cousins. Everyone had like an interest in the company to do, and not just to make money, but to make sure the work looked a certain way.
Yeah.
Not just slap it together. And I think by learning that off day one, I didn't get into any bad habits. A lot of guys out there have bad habits, and it's not their fault. If you get set up with a journeyman who doesn't have, I don't know what you want to say, like not care, but just
there's more interest outside of the scope of work that he's doing instead of the scope of work.
Is it the apprentice's fault that when you get him, he doesn't know any better, right?
Yeah, but you hear a lot of Sparkies talk about they're not teachable. Like they don't want to learn.
I agree with that to a certain point.
But I mean, I'm not going to just say electricians.
No, anyone in the trades. Yeah. You know what? You give me. So my second company I was at was a larger company, and I end up being a foreman for them with some pretty big jobs. And I would tell my project manager, give me like half an hour with a kid, and I'll tell you right away.
What were you looking for? Just
a sense of drive.
Okay.
I would tell them, they would come into the trailer, we'd go through all the paperwork, safety talks, and I would sit, I wouldn't, I let the other guys go, sit down one-on-one with them. I'm not here to yell and scream at you. That's not my style. We know though what the work needs to get done at the beginning of the day. There's a to-do list on our whiteboard, and everyone gets their job, and in our 8 hours, that's what needs to get done.
Yeah.
To stay on schedule and on track. I have bigger people to answer to that are a lot more scarier than me. And no, they're not scary.
It's
just
true.
you're dealing with the owner directly, who has a real personal interest in what's going on.
Well, he's got accounts.
When you're talking millions of dollars, right?
Exactly.
You're talking like electrical job that's $13 million electrical contract. That's not chump change. That makes or breaks.
I know,
right?
That decides whether or not you got work for another year.
Yeah. So, you give me that. I would say, don't ever let me catch you just standing there. If you look hard enough, there's something to do. If you see a piece of wire on the floor, if you got nut, go clean it up.
Something.
I might see you and say, hey, what are you doing? No. Okay, come with me. Let's go. But don't, or walk around with a screwdriver, or start, if you see a guy bending pipe, go over there. Hey, so stuff like that. So you learn pretty quick on kind of their sense of interest in kind of where their head's at. For
being a part of a team, too.
Being part of a team, how well they gel with everyone.
It's not one electrician that's putting this stuff together, man.
No, you're all working together. Right? You might have a guy doing all the conduit.
Yep.
Another crew following you doing all the wire. Hey, what'd you do with okay, yeah, no problem. Okay, pull the wire here, right? So everyone's got to gel together and not only mesh with each other on a team as electricians, but also with the drywallers, with framers, with, it's not just us. So you have framing. So talk to the framers. Hey, we were hoping to get this floor done. When do you guys think? Friday? Okay, perfect. Monday, yeah. So
give them a heads up.
So it all comes down just to communication on site. And I think a lot of guys say that, right?
Yeah.
It's all communication.
Were you seeing mostly young guys getting into the business, or were there some guys that were changing careers and getting into the business a little bit later on?
I've seen a lot of old, later 20s, earlier 30s. Yeah. I can think of a couple guys coming from like the banking industry.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I don't think they were.
It's not for them.
No, they weren't like big hedge fund guys. But
no. But like at I guess the branch level.
I think it just they just figured the political office life isn't for me, and I think you hear about construction's not for everyone either though.
Yeah,
it's pretty tough.
It is a tough racket there, and then also to get a kid, and also when they're too young, sometimes they're not ready to make that decision.
That's right. They're pushed into it.
Yes.
Their parents now, especially nowadays, Manny, your kid's 15. Go be an electrician. You'll make $100,000 a year.
Yeah, find something.
Well, that's not why you should be.
Yeah.
I could be making $30,000 a year. I still love what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I can wake up at 4 a.m. and be happy because I love what I'm doing.
So what was it for you though, Matt, when you were in high school and like you're young at that time?
Yeah.
Why electrician? Why? Bless you. Why?
Bless you. So I think it was grade 10.
What did you see, or who did you?
I didn't see anything.
What did you see? I'm okay.
I was in grade 10, and I came home with my report card. I was very famous for always the teachers never giving report cards, or they forgot my name. So I came home. I think I got, oh boy, that's embarrassing, like a 3% in history.
3%?
Yeah.
Did you even show up?
So this is what my dad was most mad about.
Okay.
The fact that it was 3%, not 0. Like the fact that you gave 3%.
You might as well have
you might as well, like, why did you even do that?
Or the
just
other,
don't show up.
Yeah.
Like, what do you, right? So anyway,
what did you accomplish for 3%?
I couldn't even tell you.
Okay, all right.
So obviously I wasn't, I was a goofball. I was a class clown, goofball, didn't care. Had other things to do, better things to do. I knew everything.
Yeah.
So got a good gig at Rona. So I said, I'm not going to go back to school. So got a good gig at Rona in the summer as a forklift driver at one of their spots in receiving. Man, I think I was making like $24 an hour.
As a 17-year-old kid?
Yeah. And I was like,
not bad.
This is not bad. And this is quick math. I don't know, 18 years ago.
Yeah, 2 decades ago.
More?
That's good money.
So and I got to work 6 a.m. to 2 a.m., weekends off. So I broke it to my, I'm not really thinking about going.
Wait, 6 to 2 p.m.
6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Yeah, sorry.
Wait. Okay.
Sorry, yeah. So beautiful.
Yeah, no,
right?
It's like prime hours, man. So prime rate.
Go home, have a power nap, and go out with my friends when they get home from school. So busted that news, and I think it went the way of me coming home one day, and my father's an electrician.
Okay.
Started out, not anymore, but did all that and worked for Square D and Schneider. And came home and he goes, there's nothing wrong with working at Rona, but my son's not making a career at Rona. And I had a pamphlet on the table for electrical pre-apprenticeship.
Okay.
You want to go there? Starting, I think it was like the Monday or the following Monday. and that's your choice.
So that's how it started.
Yeah, and that's how it started.
How was the first day?
Loved it.
Yeah?
Yeah. My first term report card, so I did a year. My first term report card, I had like all 98s.
Not 97, 3% away from
97, 3%, yeah. And I like it. This is what I want.
That's what it is, man. Everyone's got to find their deal.
It just clicked.
Yeah.
And since that day, hit the ground running.
So the apprenticeship was good.
Apprenticeship was good. Had good guys, smart guys, good electricians. Still keep in touch from that old company with a lot of the guys. Even like the operations manager has me on Facebook and messages me once in a while. Yeah, and I never burn a bridge. You know.
Is it true that it's hard? Like, I mean, you everyone still stays connected because it's hard to keep good guys.
Yes.
So you just never know. You don't know where. I mean, right now you're on your own, but you're with the company for a while.
Yep.
But you never know what's going to bring for you.
That's
5 years, 10 years from now.
And that's the thing. Everyone looked at me. So I worked. My second company I was at that I just left was a larger union company. The first company was not union.
Okay.
So I ended up going union just because there was more of a West End boundary. You're always going to be in this Milton to Cambridge. And
they were strict with that
kind of thing, right?
Okay.
You're going to be a foreman, truck, phone, right off the bat. And people are going, hold on, Matt, you're making how much money as a foreman? Your pension, your vacation pay, vacation. What are you doing to open up your own company?
I know.
Hold on a second. Your girlfriend is pregnant. And hold on, we're in this thing of a pandemic.
Yeah.
And you're opening a company. Everyone's closing. What are you doing?
Why are they so surprised?
I said, if I'm going to do it, I'm doing it now.
That's the best time to do it.
I was 35 years old. I felt like if I didn't do it then, it's just going to forever be a what if. Right? Matt, you're quoting jobs, you're meeting clients, you're doing everything that an owner does. Why are you not doing this? Mm-hmm. And it just clicked.
Did you like the union versus the non-union? I'm not trying to listen, man. I have respect for the unions.
I do
have
too.
Respect for non-unions,
absolutely.
right? Yep. And I think it goes back to the trade.
I got treated the same way.
Okay, great.
Put it that way.
Perfect.
In the same. Also, I'm not here to blow my own horn, but I never needed the protection of a union in my work. I never.
Keep your job.
You always have these guys at the end of a job. Where are we going next? What's the next? I never want. You know what? In my entire career of 20 years, I've never been laid off for one day.
Once you start,
I actually begged the last company. We were in between jobs. My girlfriend had her daughter, and I was doing crazy hours. The job finished up. The next one, there was like a 4-week kind of period. And I remember begging the project manager saying, like, please, I'll just give me the 4 weeks off. And he goes, Matt, you don't let good guys stay home because someone else will scoop you up.
Yeah.
So we worked out an agreement. I only want to do half days, or I was picking and choosing what sites I want to go to because what guys are there and what work it is.
At least they understood. They understood.
But listen, I'm not a special electrician. I just go to work, keep my head down, do what I had to do, enjoy what I'm doing, and give a great end product. And I cared about the end product of how it looked, and it represented my work. I could go like the pictures. Oh, I love this. It's great, right? Showing all your family at home. Look what I did.
Did they get it?
No,
no. Your dad must have got it.
My dad will get it. He thinks it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He always, a lot of my friends are in trade. So
was your dad showing you his Polaroids?
No, he started in Montreal, right? So I think it was a whole different game. I don't even know.
What's the
I don't even know.
I'm trying to think of.
They don't even have what it's called. But
I don't even know what it would be different there, other than just I guess the names and all this other stuff, right?
So, so he would, a lot of my friends are all trades, so they don't care.
What are
I did
they get into electrician, or did they get into?
No, I have a lot of electricians, HVAC, plumbing, gas fitters. So all kinds.
All the tickets.
The tickets, big stuff, Red Seal.
Which is like recession-proof, stable work.
Yeah, it's it's
if you're good, you'll get.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I don't, obviously I want M&J to be here till my son if he wants to take over, or if not, that's fine too. But worst case scenario, I'm not worried. You know.
What's the M&J? What's the
Man James? So I do have a partner.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't able to make it today.
Okay,
he's
all right, cool.
out and about. Maybe we'll do another one.
What's his name?
James.
James. All right, cool.
Yeah, we call him Jamie to annoy him. His actual name's Jamie. No, but he was pretty much like a lead hand when I was a foreman at the union company. He was like a lead hand for me.
Okay.
So he's kind of my go-to guy. He's 26 or 27.
Okay, a little bit younger.
A lot younger.
Yeah.
But man, he has drive. He has drive. And we were just sitting in the trailer one day, and I think I joked about it. Or I don't know, even it came up like that. Let's do it. Next thing I know, all of a sudden we're applying for business license, and I got my master's. James is licensed.
Really?
So yeah. So
I'll be honest, Matt. It's like not a lot of like trades partner up like that, right?
no, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, you're doing it with someone else." Yeah. It's
A lot of them are going solo.
yeah.
But I think you're better off if you partner.
I like it. I knew him well enough. I knew his work style is the same as mine.
That's important.
Yeah. And you know what? Me and him, we fight, and we'll spit what's off our mind, and we won't talk to each other for a couple hours, but at the end of the day,
Job's done.
Yeah, job's done. We we'll send a text that night. You still love me, right? And then we'll move on to the next one.
That's it. Because there's gonna be another fight.
Yeah,
but there's gonna be another job.
And everyone has a position in the company. You know, just because you're an owner, not one person makes all the decisions. It's a mutual thing. And you know what? You're good at the on-site guy running things. That's your thing. My thing is meeting the clients and getting the contracts and getting the work. So everyone has, as long as everyone understands what their role is in that company.
Yep.
I think it works fine for us. It's been working no problem. We're still early, but I think it's been
It's not
been
too
great.
early, man. 2 years is, and especially 2 pandemic years.
Yeah, and this year we had our greatest year. The number mind blowing.
Really?
We did. Yeah, big
And it's
stuff.
all word of mouth.
We hooked up with a lot of interior designers, GCs.
So you're doing resi now.
So I got into more custom homes.
resi. Yeah, okay.
We'll still do. I still take on people calling me off of Google or whatever, and basements, kitchens. That's easy peasy.
Was it difficult for you to shift from commercial to residential?
Commercial electricians have no business in resi.
Really? What are they doing?
It's a different game, man.
What are they? Well,
Just the way you run things and how you do everything, and and there's no T-bar ceiling. It's all in drywall. It's and resi guys I see come to commercial, they have a hard time with the pipe, and so it took us. I'm sure we probably lost money on the first couple jobs, just the way we were running
James
things.
was the same thing.
James, well, yeah,
Same. So both of you guys were looking at custom resi.
yeah.
Wow.
So, the way we run things isn't how a resi electrician would do it. There's tricks. No, you come off the switch here, or add that plug. All these little things. Why don't you pull a 3-wire to this box and come off with your 2 circuits instead of 2 separate runs? So I have one of my best friends. I've known him since we were 7. He has an electrical company. So we mean, how do you do this? Oh yeah, no, you don't do it like that, man.
Good that you guys
And then
are
when he
chatting
does,
with each
when he
other,
does
man.
commercial, he comes to me, right? Because he was
course.
always a resi
Gotta
guy.
pick your brain. You
So,
pick his brain.
Yeah. That. So definitely on the first 2 jobs, I think the ESA inspector made a joke when he came onto our first house.
What did he say?
He goes, "You guys are commercial electricians." So,
What was he noticing?
It's way too neat. You spent way too much time stapling and making things look good, and not to say resi don't.
No.
It's just a different,
Yeah.
measuring out staples, probably. I don't know, crazy stuff like that.
It was you that sent me. Yeah, you sent me the picture of the rafters.
No.
I thought it was you that someone drilled through all the rafters to
No.
run their 14.2.
Really?
And I was like,
No, so we don't go that far.
no, but I'm like, why are you doing that, man? You don't.
That's
need to
great
do that.
ambition, but it's really costing a lot of money.
I think it was. I'm trying to remember who sent it, but I was questioning if you're drilling a 1-inch hole in a 2x4.
How good is that for the roof?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's compromised.
So ESA, I think in 2021, the new code that just came out there's a new rule that when you're running wires in the attic space, you have to be, if you're, how do I explain it without them seeing my hands? You have your ceiling joist and then your rafters.
Yes.
If it's more than 1 meter in height between the two.
Yes. Between your collar.
Yes.
And your rafter.
Yeah. If it's more than a 1 meter height.
The wire.
You can't run wires past that point anymore. So when you can't do a full send from one corner of the house to the other.
But you can let it just ride the bottom of it, all the rafters.
It has to be within that meter.
Oh, within that meter?
Yeah.
Really?
So that no one, because they don't want people walking in the attic anymore, stepping on the Romex. So either you have to drill through every ceiling joist.
That's why they did it.
Or you have to stay within a meter.
Yes,
or less, so that it's uncomfortable for someone to walk in there.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
that's new.
I think that came out 2021.
Is it just me or is ESA always? And Simon's listening right now, but are they always just making up new fucking rules?
Man, it's a license to print money. The manufacturers are in on it to bring out new stuff.
Are they really?
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of little electrical lobbying going on. Envelope here, envelope there.
I'm doing quotes right now.
No, we got video. People can see you. But seriously, so that's what's going on right now?
Man, how do they put some of this stuff?
I don't get some of the stuff that they put in there.
Silly stuff. Now, if you're in a flood area, your whole basement has to be GFI protected. So now it's up to the electrician to find out. So I'm in the KW area. You have the Grand River.
Yeah.
So you have to...
your whole basement.
You have to get a hold of the conservation society.
The tree police. I know. The tree police. The guys who wear camouflage.
And find out what the flood zone is for that area. And if you're in a flood zone, everything in the basement has to be GFI protected. Everything.
I don't agree with that.
And why? I got into it with I didn't get into it with the inspector, but a discussion.
Yeah.
Saying it didn't happen to me, but we talked about it. And I said, how am I supposed to know if this is a flood zone? That's up to the electrician.
That's on you now.
Yeah. So
they just make up stuff, man.
They make up.
I'm not even a fan of arc fault receptacles.
Pain in the butt.
I don't.
Every time they plug an old vacuum in and it trips it.
And
then I got to drive 2 hours on a Saturday to go reset it. And it's going to happen again. And
now, is that a money thing? Because now you're damaging that. So now you got to get a new one and you got to change it.
I think if you want to actually talk like CSA standards, and someone tell me if I'm wrong.
I don't know.
If what breaker trips one time, I believe technically, and this is any breaker.
Okay.
I believe the rule is you now have to replace it because it's had a fault. I think someone told me that in a training.
So I guess technically or mechanically speaking, that breaker
now doesn't have that same integrity.
So it may not trip again if there's a surge?
I think so, yeah.
That's their theory?
Yeah, I guess.
Then that means you'd be spending so much money hiring an electrician to come in here to change a breaker.
I think the trainer did say that because I remember someone challenging her saying, well, why do they make breakers reset then?
Because we got tired of unscrewing fuses.
And she just kind of moving on. Next slide. Yeah.
But you know how expensive that would be if that was the
arc
case?
fault breakers now.
Oh, it's insane how much they are.
Right? Arc fault breakers now. You got the combo arc fault GFIs you can do. Basically, your whole house is arc fault now except for a kitchen and a bathroom. Right?
So then your vacuum's dedicated, but then if you plug in a Dyson's consuming 15 amps, isn't it?
Yep.
So you can't use a Dyson, I guess, on the bedroom floor.
And it's not even the amperage. It's because the motors in the vacuums have brushes, right? And then on a motor, the motor turns, and then you get an arc between the brush.
Yeah.
I don't remember trade school. I don't know, commutator or something like that. Anyways, you get an actual arc. That's it. That's what happens in motors. There's always arcing.
Yeah.
Well, the breaker picks up that fault, thinks it's a fault, arc fault, and trips. I think it happens with like a lot of older vacuums.
I thought it was designed like...
They're definitely gotten a lot better.
Kids were like overloading all their receptacles in the bedrooms, and then fire started happening.
Yeah, so the whole principle. I think the states came out with the whole arc fault first,
of course.
And what they figured was, in your bedroom, how many beds get slammed up against the wall, And, you know, I think probably even in my house I have it done. Like the bed's going to block it. So you plug it in and then you slam the bed behind it and you're crimping the wire and the plug's coming halfway out of the wall.
Yeah, you're creating
and then you get dust, right?
Yeah.
A lot of dust because you don't clean behind your bed. You don't pull it out and clean. So you get dust. And then when that dust, if there's a spark, that dust is what triggers the fire. There was a statistic in the States when they introduced arc fault. It was a high percentage of fires fires came down significantly in houses.
Is it true though? I'm just curious about smoke alarms now. You have to have the 3, right, regarding OBC? So you got to have smoke, carbon, and strobe.
Yeah. So carbon only needs to be like in your main area, like top of the stairs, the main floor, at the bottom of the stairs.
I thought carbon had to be in every single closed bedroom. They changed that rule as well too.
Did they?
Because the carbon monoxide while you're sleeping, you can't detect it.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to put it on every single floor and then one in every bedroom.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why on any given, if you got a 4-bedroom house, you can have 5 carbon detectors on that one floor.
Right.
And they were supposed to be, I think, hardwired with a battery backup.
All hardwired with battery backwired and interlinked, right?
Yeah.
So if one goes off, they all go off.
Yeah.
Last I know, I haven't. If it's new, I haven't heard about it. But you'd put CO, like in the hallway, outside the bedrooms.
Yes.
And then the smoke strobes in the bedrooms.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, yeah, that's, I don't mind. It is what it is. I don't know if I have a newer house, and my girlfriend was pregnant at the time. I was working really early in the morning. She called me at like 5 a.m. She was crying and she says the smoke detectors are going off. I said, okay, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Get on
an hour away.
And just.
So she said, well, main floor is 9-foot ceilings. Right?
Oh, okay.
So, and then upstairs. So, I mean, granted, she was woken up from deep sleep and she's praying and things are all over the place. And she goes, I said, well, is there smoke? Like, did you look outside the bedroom yet? No. Okay, go and look.
Is there an actual fire going on?
Right.
Yeah.
So she looks, like, she's in tears and she looks. And, no. I said, is there smoke? Do you smell anything? No. I said, well, listen, call the fire department. I don't know their number. Man, I gotta go.
Was it a fire?
No, so I guess dust wasn't. It was when we first moved in, maybe about a year later. Maybe
so
there
it
was
was just
dust
all
inside,
dust
and
it?
who knows,
Yeah.
right? But the strobes, Manny, the strobes are deadly.
I don't like them.
So it went off another night when I was home at 2
can't
a.m.
see,
I couldn't
man.
see.
I know.
She was laughing. I was holding the wall to get to the light switch to at least turn the lights on.
Your house turns into like a 1980s music video.
Yeah.
You
And
know
it's
what I mean?
bad.
It's
Coming out of a
bad.
deep sleep like that, you
know.
are so discombobulated.
You're out of focus on your vision.
yeah.
And then you're getting this strobe into your
I
vision.
think it's
And it's blinding
80
strobe.
decibels, the sound, 85 decibels.
It's bad, man. That's why I mean, where's this testing coming from? Where are they coming up with this stuff?
I don't know.
Let me share a little history here, man. History and construction. History of the light switch. Well,
Yes.
this is going to be good. The electric light switch was invented by Thomas Edison in 1880. It was one of the number of electric components for light displays he built that year. In 1884, John Henry Holmes invented the quick break switch. It was more durable and worked faster by reducing the time it takes for 2 electrical contacts to meet within a circuit. His design was very popular in the late 19th century. 1917, Maurice Goldberg and William J. Newton invented the toggle switch. These switches are still common in North America. Switches have changed very little since then, but computer technology has allowed us to activate switches remotely using sensed environments via signals, etc. In the future, we only see what more is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're all app enabled and
Wi-Fi.
What is it? What they call again? The switches that relay into an app. What are they called? Cassette.
Yeah.
Cassette. Oh,
Yeah.
geez, I don't know why I forgot that name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now
That's the
you
big
can
one.
you could park a face of a switch somewhere.
Yep.
You don't even
Pico.
need Pico.
Pico switch.
That's what it is.
Lutron has the big one out there, I think. Pico.
I know, but
don't
like,
know.
so you don't need a box. You
Nope.
don't need anything.
Nothing.
You just need a signal being
Just need
relayed.
a signal.
Are we getting like, Matt, to the point where we're walking into our house and there's just like, if we had infrared glasses on, we would see all these signals all over our
just
house?
wait from 10 years or 20
Is that what
years
it's going to
from
be
now.
like?
Sure.
Isn't that doing anything to us?
Got to be doing something.
It's got to be doing
Everything
something.
nowadays does something to you.
There's a
Drink too
signal-
much milk is bad for you. Not enough, it's not. My doctor said not enough sugar. Okay, stop drinking, having sugar. Okay, no, you need a little bit of sugar. No sugars. Oh my gosh.
Jeez. I'm gonna go to the mechanic and ask
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
No, that's what I mean. So, like, you're always adding more and more new stuff to the homes.
yeah. I love it.
I guess everybody now is asking. It's not code yet. Battery chargers for electric cars.
No.
It's not code.
I think, is it a building code?
Wait, sorry. I'll correct. New construction,
Yes.
you have to run it.
Yes.
But not necessarily connect
Terminate it.
Yeah.
Correct. A pipe, whether you're doing a conduit or the wire there, but you don't need to terminate it into the panel.
So why don't we? Okay, every person that I know that has wanted or has a electric vehicle, they also have a pool. They have a hot tub.
Yep.
They have all these other components that
Saunas and
saunas.
Yeah, big one.
So are we running? Like, I mean, 200. We were talking off mic before we got started, right? Like, all Toronto is most of it is 200 amp ran, and then
Toronto.
or no.
No, like a lot of, so I don't know too much about Toronto. I know the older stuff is all 100 amp or 60 amp.
Yes.
The newer construction now, and I don't know what year it would have started when Hydro did it, but even though you have a 100 amp service, or let's say not service, panel in your house, Hydro will already give you 200 amps to the meter. So that all you have to do is just change your panel and you're ready to go. And the wires from the meter to the panel.
That's it.
And that's it.
And then you've upgraded your panel.
They don't have to do anything.
Because nowadays, any typical house it's not sufficient to have a 100 amp panel.
No. I mean, if you're going to do it, you might as well go 200 and call it a day. By the time you do, now ESA is cracking on load calculations.
Really?
Before you could, install a hot tub and get it passed, and that's it. But now ESA knows, you're doing a hot tub, maybe you're doing a car charger. What's next, right? So they're making you do these load calculations to see, even though it's a 100 amp panel and you don't have much breakers, what's the actual load?
What's the calculation again? They're
Square
asking,
footage of the house.
and then they're asking, but how much consumption? It's
How much- yeah.
80% of it, or
80% of the
80%?
service. So you're allowed 80 amps.
okay. But that's the theory, that you'll have your sauna on, your hot tub on, your electric car's charging, your
All that
house is
together
running.
is.
But
your
that's not how
toast.
your house operates, man. So then why is the governing body asking you? I know. Going to get a lot of letters, man.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's
Yeah.
just, but I mean, it's just, okay, so what are they? Worst case scenario?
I guess it is. Worst case scenario. I mean, realistically, you're tripping the main breaker.
That's the worst case. Yeah, exactly. But then again, we go back to your point earlier where it's like that breaker's fault now, so we have to replace it.
Right. No one ever's done it. No, I don't think anyone in the
No.
history of electrical has ever done it.
I'm still
curious about that. I want to
I want to look into
I
that
wanna look
myself.
into
Anybody else who's like listening, they want to
wonder if
shout
you know
out.
anyone
let
from
us know.
CSA or something.
Listen, man, I still have a commander panel that I can't stand.
Ooh.
Oh, I know, and you can't replace those breakers.
Oh, no.
Like those, that should be in a museum or whatever.
Yeah.
But that thing keeps on tripping just because I'm changing things and shit, and it's just I trip it. I put it back.
Yeah.
But I got to pull the trigger one day and bring in a Sparky.
Yep.
Get a proper panel in there.
Yep.
Because that commander panel sucks.
Yeah.
The breakers suck.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, what panels do you like working with?
I love a nice home line.
Yeah.
Schneider home line.
Schneider's been around a while. I like.
Schneider's been around.
They're a
They
good
used to be
company.
Square D, Merlin Gerlin, Federal Pioneer, Square D. Am I missing one? Stablock.
Okay.
Federal Pioneer was Stablock. Yeah, they've been around for a while. I mean, I don't really care. My supplier that I like to prefer to use is Square D
Okay.
rep. So that's why I go home line.
How's everything in your? I know that in Toronto, I've done the standby generators. I've done a
Yep.
panel swap. I've done added a second, split the meter so
Yep.
you can have a dwelling, a basement
Yep.
apartment. Toronto can be a pain. Hydro. I don't know how it is outside of Toronto.
We did custom home at Royal York and Islington.
Oh yeah, you had fun.
Yeah, that was a fight.
Really? Yeah.
Really looked incompetent on that job though. Told the homeowner, I mean, I showed him emails fighting with Hydro to get this service hooked up, overhead service.
It's funny you bring that up because every time I deal with that,
Just a fight.
there's a train of emails that you have to present to the client just
Yep.
to show them you're doing your job,
know,
and then
He's coming at me and I'm showing him and Well, there's a GC for that project, so he's going in between the GC homeowner, GC me, and I said, you know what, let's just get the. I'm going to show you. Like we're not. I'm not. I don't want to do. I don't want to.
You're not picking a fight.
4 months. Like,
no.
So I showed him. Yeah. No, that's not acceptable. Well, I hate to tell you, but hydro's a monopoly. If you don't want to do it,
that's why they do what they do.
What do you? Who are you going to?
You can't call anybody else.
What are you doing?
And it annoys the hell out of me.
The homeowner made one phone call, and they were there the next day. Don't ask me how, why. He got off the phone. He called me. He goes, I just talked to Hydro. It was easy. They're coming tomorrow.
What did they pay?
I said, I don't know how you did that, but
no, they paid something.
Had to have.
Hydro has those stupid rates.
Yeah.
If you want it done tomorrow, it's X amount.
Yeah. If
you want it done next year, it's X amount. I'm exaggerating next year, but 6 months or whatever.
We're doing custom home and water down. We got a quote from them to change the service from overhead to underground. And it's a far run, probably 400 feet. Took them like 2 months to give a quote. And then they said by the time we have to receive the payment in full to book the job.
Yeah.
So fine. And then they say, yeah, we're booking 17 weeks out. And by the way, if by the time we do the job, there's frost in the ground, it's an additional $1,600, I think.
17 weeks.
So I said, of course there's going to be frost. It's going to be February.
If you're booking 3 jobs during the course of the year, one of those jobs is going to hit frost. 17 weeks in frost?
Yeah. So
I just picture
a little disclaimer.
I don't know anybody that works at Toronto Hydro, but I just picture the admin staff just like walking in casually.
Yeah.
Big jelly donut sandwich, whatever.
Cigar.
Yeah, just like taking their time just to log into the computer to find out who's in the queue and what's going on and what do I have to do.
Yeah, what do we have to do today? What's in the queue?
Dropping a little jelly in there.
I love when they say the queue. That's probably my most favorite line. I've heard that.
At least you're in the queue.
I'm in the queue.
You weren't in the queue.
If you're not in the queue, that's a big problem. You want to be in the queue. It sounds like a Seinfeld episode. The queue.
But you're right. It's a monopoly. And they got to stop that.
On that same job, we're demoing the house.
Okay.
Complete to the foundation. So obviously you have to get the overhead service removed from the house before they can do that. So called, make the arrangements, and they said it's going to take us 4 to 6 weeks to have someone to come out.
Just to assess.
But I took it as to come out and do it. It's an overhead service. Assess, You're Hydro. Like, what do you like?
No, they got to assess, man.
So I said, no problem, because I knew, like, me and the GC, we started this process all like that's fine. 6 weeks, beautiful. The guy comes out. He goes, okay, yep. I said, you going to disconnect? He goes, oh no, I'll just let them know everything's ready to roll, and we'll send another truck out. He had the bucket truck with him,
but they didn't have the paperwork attached to it.
That's right. So then he goes, yeah, man, you're not in the queue.
Why is it that? Why is it? And I mean, I would love to get a Toronto Hydro guy on the show.
That would be awesome.
I don't know if they'd be able to, but I mean, I always find it that when they do show up, it's generally like a 2 or 3% crew
minimum,
and 2 guys of the 3 move slower than sloths
under moral support,
and the 3rd guy is the boogie guy.
Yeah,
that guy just hustles, gets it done, grabs the gear, does it, and while the other 2 guys are literally still fighting with the left sleeve of their jacket. You know what I mean?
The guy booging around, he's the one that's the lower pay grade too, probably.
Exactly.
He's trying to make sure.
He's doing all the work, and then we start discussing things going, okay, so what can get done here? And all of a sudden, before you finish the conversation, the job's done.
Yeah.
It's like, that's all you needed to do?
Yeah.
Why didn't we just get this done, man?
We were doing one shit down in Oakville for a commercial property for a 6,000 amp service, and they said they were delayed. And because the factory's downtime, every minute counts. So when I passed on the information to the building guy, BS, they're right there on Trafalgar. There's 6 trucks at Tim Hortons. So I think he even drove over there. I said, this is not a good idea, because,
this is where social media can be
dangerous. They'll say now, emergency call can't come, right? They'll play with you, I think. So.
Why can't we change it so it's not a monopoly anymore?
I don't know.
Because somebody's made a
I don't
backdoor
know.
deal or something.
Someone's,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Political deals, man.
Yeah.
All right, but keep up the good work, guys.
Yeah.
That's all. Because
That's it.
we need you. We can't move forward without it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the quotes they give for some residential areas where it's underground, the service, and it needs to be upgraded,
Yep.
the wires, because it's
Yep.
not rated for 100 amp. And like the quotes that are coming in are just astronomical.
We did a job.
Like close, I'm talking like 20 grand.
Yeah. So they had the underground service, which was in a pit
Yep.
across the street
Yeah.
that was servicing the house that we were working on. So they had to cross 3 neighbors.
Yeah.
So they started having conversations with me through email about excavation and all this other stuff. And I was like, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
And then we even had it all marked. So they already came even before that to assess, and they marked where their cables were. But for some weird reason, it terminated in the yard. It didn't make it all the way to the meter, so they couldn't figure out the rest of it. So then it became this whole discussion about we have to excavate, but we have to do it with a wetback,
Right.
because they have to be careful.
Yep.
But then they wouldn't do it. It just became this whole fiasco. It's like, there's got to be another way to do this.
I did one with Waterloo. It was probably the funniest one.
What happened?
So you submit for the service layout, and that's when they tell you, yes, you can go do 200, no, or yes, but you have to, this is what needs to be done. So the guy says, no, the underground wires are not suitable for 200. We got to upgrade. You're responsible for bringing from the right to the property line, right? So your job is on the property. You stop at the property line.
Yep.
But we're not too sure where the connection is underground.
I've heard this one before.
And so I had to call him because I thought, like, what is, like, hold on a second. We're talking about hydro. Like, this is, like, do you not have as-built drawings? Like,
No.
So he goes, yeah, so pretty much you need to get a sucker truck, vac truck, and I'll send you a picture of where we think it is. Man, he took a picture of like 3 boulevards. So I say, it's going to be like $3,000 just to find your wire.
Yeah.
Never mind.
You guys lost it, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't lose it.
It's up to you to find it for us. What? It's up to me at the customer's expense.
Because they were able to trace it all the way up until the property.
That point, yep.
But then after that point, they weren't able to trace it.
Can't find it.
So it's not their responsibility anymore.
Don't care. Again, you don't want 200 amps? You don't get 200 amps?
But everybody needs 200 amps these days.
Well, now you're in a position where you have the electric car being delivered or your hot tub being delivered. You need 200 amps. There's no choice, and they're giving you bills like this. What are you going to do?
Have you worked on a house yet that wanted 400?
No, I can't wait though.
That's Toronto.
Yeah,
That's a whole set
big
of
stuff,
rules.
eh?
You're changing the actual line all the way around,
Yeah.
right to the transformer.
Yeah.
You're changing it.
Yeah,
That's when you get a house that just has way too much power consumption, man.
that's a lot of 400 amps.
That's
Even
like-
200 amps. 200 amps is a lot of power for.
You start getting to some of these homes.
I mean, yeah.
man. Yeah, where you need, and 400 amp is, you tell me, it's commercial at that point. Is that the starting point of commercial?
Yeah, we do a lot of. I think the smallest one I ever did was 600.
600?
Smallest, yeah. All the way up to 8,000 amp.
Wow. That's just humming.
Humming. Yeah. I can't say for who. I think there's like a non-disclosure, but
No, for
a
sure.
big factory.
I'm always fascinated about Sparkies that have this love for electrical, and I'm always curious on why you have the crappy electricians. What is it in their life, or what happened that they just said, I'm going to punch the clock, and I don't care how this wire looks. I don't care how this panel looks. Like, I like when social media started and everybody was showing off panel work, and everybody was showing off how beautiful. Everyone was trying to one-up everybody, drilling holes behind the panel and bringing the wires from the back, which is all sweet and nice. And it became an event. You know what I mean? You put the insulation there, you have the panel, you work with the Sparky as a GC, you get everything already, fire-rated board, and it just looks nice, right? And you want to park that panel exactly where it's supposed to be perfect, right? But then you do have that small percentage of jokers. Why are they like that? What happened in their lives, man?
I don't know. I mean, I would love to know if there's one out there that
Were
know they
giving
are.
them a crappy crimper or crappy linesman?
Just bitter at life. I don't know.
what it is, man.
Maybe they got shocked one too many times.
Someone
They
just
despise
shat
the
in
wire.
their tool bucket or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
They have
man.
no pride though.
That's what it is.
Right?
It's got to be that.
Yeah. No, if you don't have pride, I mean, might as well get out.
correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it take longer to do a shit job when it comes to electrical and wiring
Absolutely.
than it does to do a good job?
Absolutely.
So it's actually faster to do a good job.
Yeah. Yeah. There's speed or quality. You can't have both.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Just do the.
So, okay, I have an apprentice who can tear through a house, right? Slap plugs on run pole, but it's going to be. I mean, as it doesn't really matter when the drywall goes on, but wires aren't straight in the stud. You know, I like nice straight, all the holes the same height, and
I'm used to Sparky's drilling holes on laser, man.
yeah,
They'll set up a laser and drill holes on laser.
love it, and it looks nice. Client comes
Isn't
in.
that easier to fish your wire when you're drilling holes on laser instead of having one
it's all
hole
perception
here?
too, though. When a homeowner comes in, does that not look professional?
It does.
Right.
Looks clean.
This is why we charge what we charge, right? You get a bunch of dog shit.
I know, but the other guy
It's
does
like,
a
hold
shit
on a
job. He
second.
charges the same amount for doing the shit work.
No, true.
But homeowners don't really care because
No.
it's getting covered up.
Yeah. You know, and the problem is too, is plumbers and electricians, you know, everything gets hidden, right? So people, I find, really nitpick at those numbers when they get them. Because why am I going to pay 30 grand for an electrician? It's just wires you're pulling, you know.
Okay, don't hire an electrician and
Right.
see if your house works.
Right. But they'll spend, you know, $30,000 for an island, or,
I know.
you know,
I know.
their lighting packages are
Stove,
30, 40 grand.
TV accessories, speakers,
Yeah.
everything that is terminated at the end of all the wires.
But it's stuff they can see, right?
TV still doesn't work unless there's power to
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Speakers don't work. Stove don't work.
No.
Nothing works, man.
No.
So you need the power.
Hey, you need to get in the queue.
Plus, when you run things properly, it's actually easier and better, faster
Yeah.
to chase if you ever have to chase.
Yeah.
To discover, because sometimes in new construction you'll miss something,
Oh, yeah.
right? But then you'll problem solve a lot faster if it was run a certain way.
I already know this goes to the air, this goes to here.
Yes.
This
Yes.
makes sense.
Exactly.
Right? Not, oh my God. Oh no. This one went here. Oh, I don't know. But why did I tap this one? Right? If you do everything in a systematic manner, it makes it so much easier, not only for troubleshooting, but if the client wants to add something.
Change.
Easy, yeah.
I know.
Oh no, now we need to make that whole circuit arc fault. Or, you know what I mean? That's a lighting circuit. It's not arc fault. Now I got to change. So
I haven't seen any new pot lights, or who's got the coolest pot lights these days.
I did the RGB ones in my son's room.
Okay.
He's 4 years old. He's obsessed with the color purple. So when he saw me getting my daughter's room ready last year, he came over and he goes, "Well, I want my room. Like, why didn't you do my room?" Of course, my daughter got all wainscoting and feature wall with wallpaper.
What did you do? Get cardboard boxes or what?
Yeah, my son, no, he just got like a baby blue room and that was it, right?
That was it, yeah.
So he goes, "I want you to paint my room purple." I said, "Okay, well, I mean, my son, now, no problem, but this is a big commit. Purple's a big committed color here."
Light, dark purple?
I think he's a big dark purple, yeah.
Okay. So it looks nightish at
Yeah.
night. Yeah.
So I'm not a painter, though. I hate painting. God bless all you painters. It really is.
Can't cut?
Can't cut, no.
No? Can't
I have
roll?
to do, that's the problem. I have to do 4 hours of taping before I even get started.
Oh, just learn how to cut. Find the right brush and just find
I
that
can't.
groove. Score it with a knife in
I
the
don't know
corner.
why.
And
I've
just,
tried even those cheaters where
No, don't do that.
I tried that.
Don't do that.
Oh, man.
Those things are brutal. Don't do
It's
that.
a mess. I despise painting.
So
I really
who painted
do.
it then?
I painted it.
But you despised it.
I hated every minute of it.
And you taped the whole thing?
Taped it.
How many rolls of tape did you use?
I don't know. I think I could have used a few more by the looks of it.
Did it turn out good?
Yeah, it turned out beautiful. It was like a
Okay.
seafoam green.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but so I did my I said, "No, I'm not changing your color, but I'll get you purple pot lights." So it's the one now with your app where you can go on and change it all different colors.
Nice.
Each pot light is a different. You
can
can
dance.
change different
Yeah.
colors or do whatever you want, right? So I did that. Those are pretty cool.
So he likes that.
Loves it. He's got this one red, that one blue, that one purple. And Daddy, change them tonight. Make this one. Now he gets bossy. Why are they yellow? I want that. Yeah. So
Give him the phone.
I'm thinking of doing them outside next year and doing instead of Christmas lights and make them red and green.
You can do that? Or
Yeah.
you're like your soffit lighting kind
Yeah,
of thing?
soffit lights. Yeah.
Really? It's just all in the bulb. Like everything's in the bulb.
No, it looks like a slim pot light.
Really?
Yeah, but it has Wi-Fi.
Who's making these?
I used Q Plus.
They expensive?
I think so.
Like what? Like
$100.
really? Huh?
Yeah. But
But
was
then
it
you get a
worth-
lot of freedom.
But what's it worth to you if you're to do your soffit lights? What's it worth to you not doing Christmas lights every year
It's true. Huh?
and waiting too late in the year and you're freezing and right
Going up on the roof and
going
there's
up on the
snow on it
roof
with
and
a
there's
ladder.
snow and
Make sure the camera's rolling so you can
Yeah.
create a nice TikTok video
Yeah.
of you falling, all that shit, man.
Right. So what's it worth to you?
It's true.
Right.
Let me do a little OBC talk here. Energy efficiency for homes. At least one programmable thermostat. I think that's code now. No, you can't do regular on and off kind of thing anymore.
It has to be programmable.
Control, yeah, it's got to be all programmable. Programmable thermostat control device must allow for the setting of different air temperatures for at least 4 periods per day and 2 day types per week. Include a manual override. Allow the air temperature to be set 13 degrees or lower in heating mode and 29 degrees Celsius or higher in cooling mode if air conditioning is provided. Manual thermostat control device is permitted if controls a heating or cooling system where the capacity is 2 kilowatts or less. So you can, I guess. Serves an individual room. Furnaces must be equipped with a brushless direct current motor, which all the new ones do, in order to supply energy for cooking appliances and clothes dryers. Every kitchen and laundry space must have an electrical outlet, a natural gas line, or a propane line. What?
That was just
I've got gas for dryer and I've got gas for cooking. Not propane. Propane would be different cities. Depends, right?
farther out.
But even if you change your cooktop, I remember talking to an ESA, I think, agent. If you change your cooktop to gas, you cannot disconnect the original because whoever might purchase go in there and they may not want gas, and then you still have to have
Even
that.
in the new homes going in,
You still have to put it.
you still have to. You don't have to hook it just like the car charger. You don't have to hook it up, but it's got
has
to be there. Yeah,
because that's a 40 amp.
yeah.
Yeah, 30 amp for
2
dryer.
40.
30, yeah, no, 30 amp. It's a test, Matt. There's a test here.
Yeah.
No, it's 40 amp for cook and then 30
Yep.
amp for dryer, and those
Yep.
are your two big ones. I know that coming from the film business, we used to plug in the,
Yeah, cam locks. Yeah.
which is you're not allowed to anymore. I don't think so.
I
gotta
do a lot of
double
that
check.
stuff.
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of this stuff with my own company at City of Brampton, like Carabram and stuff.
Yeah,
So we'd be doing cam locks everywhere.
it's the only way you can get power. That
Yeah.
you can.
The
go.
big generators on the trailers, like 750 kilowatt generators.
Yeah, it's insane, man.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
You and James, do you guys have apprenticeships yourselves, or apprentice?
No.
No, you guys gonna bring anybody on?
Yeah. So we tried one. We did a really, really big commercial job downtown Toronto this past summer.
So you're still in the West End, but you're still taking on work in the core?
Yeah, I don't mind it because it's for myself now.
Got it. A little bit of a drive, no?
We start at 6. We work till 2.
You missed some of the traffic.
So
yeah.
when I say I start at 6, I'm probably on site at 5:15.
Yeah.
I like to get there, have my coffee, open my laptop, get everything going.
City's quiet.
I was used to on the sites when I was a foreman, having like 20 guys on site. You better know what every single one of those guys are doing before they show up, because it's all time is money.
Yeah.
To have a guy stand around, it's no good, right? And you have to have backup plans. So I'm more equipped with that kind of skill where I got everything planned out. I can tell you in 3 weeks what they're doing, right? But
that's your commercial training, right?
That's my commercial training.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely. So, you have a guy who's making $50-$60 an hour and he's standing around. No, not acceptable.
As a business owner, you're looking at that as lost production,
big loss,
man.
huge loss. Every time he's walking for one screw because you didn't give him the right materials or.
But that's the jokers in commercial. They like just kind of walking, looking busy,
1%ers.
moving around. The 1%ers. Yeah,
That's the guys that
they're
get
really
me.
good at looking busy, but they don't achieve anything.
No. Take advantage, but they got things that protect them. Right?
Yeah, that's the thing about
They get
it.
rid of someone.
But nobody's also paying attention to, are you doing anything? You get anything done? No. What'd you do today? Nothing.
Yeah.
But I never told you that. According to me, I did everything.
And I think sometimes too, when I was a foreman, you have the days where you just don't care. Like, I don't care what, like, just leave me alone. I don't care what, I'm already worrying about who knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Between the office or materials not being able to be delivered or whatever it is, a bad site meeting with the client. Like, I don't care. Like, just, I'm not thinking about it. And they take advantage of that, right?
It's a shame, man, because there's an opportunity to actually do some good work.
Big time.
Right?
Yeah.
And learn.
And learn.
Right?
Yeah.
And actually learn. That was one kid at the very start when I got started in construction. You're there for 8 hours, man.
Yeah, you might as well do something.
Might as well learn.
Yeah.
Ask questions. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Be a go-getter.
The guys that want to hide and be on their phone in the corner and this and
They
that,
don't
like,
care.
well, you're making your day drag on.
Yeah.
If you really don't want to be here, do something. Your day's going to fly by. Yeah. How many times have we started and I go, oh my God, it's already like 11 o'clock.
I love those days.
I could tell because my stomach. I go, oh, I'm hungry. What time is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's lunchtime.
Now it's time.
Right?
But then you also got a lot of work done.
A lot of work done.
That's the best when you got everybody on the site and everyone's working. Everyone's in the groove.
Isn't it amazing?
And then you pull off more than what you expected to pull off. And now you had a huge production day.
Yeah.
I love those days.
I found a good way was I would tell them, let's get this corridor done. We'll do high rise. Get this corridor. All the lights up today. We can go.
Yes.
Right? Friday morning. Let's get this done. Let's get out of here. Oh, man. You've never seen these guys work so fast in their life.
Because they want a boogie.
Yeah.
They want to get out of there and enjoy the
It's
weekend.
not that you can't do it. It's just
no, you can do it.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never had that in me not to have that drive. I don't know.
I mean, okay, so you're a different generation, but there's a stigma still attached to the generation that's coming in.
Yeah.
So I guess they still trying to figure out if they want to do it.
Yeah. Or they should not be getting coffees for everyone every day, or why am I always the guy going to get coffee?
I still get coffees for everybody.
I love getting coffees. I get to get away from work. Wow. I remember from my foreman, he took him a long time to find out. But every day he would send me to go get morning coffees. And I would always take his change and get a bagel. And I would eat the bagel in the parking lot. And then I would come back. Right? I laugh when I see these kids come back in like 6 minutes. Like, dude.
Pace yourself.
Oh, crazy lineup. Crazy lineup.
Pace yourself, man.
Yeah, I took advantage. Absolutely. Right.
So where have you and James talked about where you're going to take the business?
Yeah, we want to. I love residential. Residential's no problem. Love custom homes. I love the stuff that these clients are coming up with now.
The clients or the designers?
Both.
Or Pinterest or House?
Yeah. Both, right? Like the new stuff coming out, everything, Wi-Fi, all this low voltage lighting controls, and just everything's out there. It's just a matter of
a lot of options, man.
A lot of options, right? I like that about custom homes, how different. Even though, yes, you could have a 3,000 square foot house, this one and this one could be two different things, right? So I like that part of the custom home stuff. Commercial, though, I want to kind of stick to the commercial. I love commercial. It's obviously what I'm most comfortable with. I'm custom homes now, or residential now that we got the groove of it, are easy for me.
But now you guys are thinking
I love the big stuff, though.
Yeah.
Give me,
you want to get into the high-tech
big
stuff, right?
Yeah, we got some big stuff coming up for next year. There's actually going to be, can't talk too much about it, but there's going to be like a press release on it.
That's big.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the biggest.
Resi?
No, commercial. Yeah, it's going to be right downtown. And yeah, it's going to be cool. That's going to be. I'm excited about that job. But I just want to get big. I love big electrical stuff. 4,000 amp services, transfer switches. I love all that stuff.
What do you think? I know this has been a question that's been asked quite a bit. First of all, Toronto doesn't have the electrical infrastructure to sustain if everybody switched over to an electric vehicle on every single driveway.
No.
We don't have that. We barely have now with how Toronto, I'm talking about Toronto with streetcars.
Yep.
The way the whole electrical infrastructure is built right now, it's archaic.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen if that does happen, where you start getting 50% of the population with EVs?
I asked, I don't know who he was, if he actually worked, like if he was an engineer for hydro in Toronto. But I brought that up to him. I'm like, man, your infrastructure is so old, and you have some of these houses that are being put in, or you're taking, I don't even care about the house side of things. That's just one house. But what about all the parking lots downtown that could turn into 47-story condo buildings?
And
the power that's
consumption
needed, right?
Yeah.
And that's on every corner in Toronto now.
Yeah.
Right? I did a lot of work downtown Toronto at like Queen's Park, and I remember I loved parking at the Bay and Dundas parking lot. And I hadn't been downtown for so long, and I was down there to go look at a job, and it's gone. Like that was my. Oh no, what happened to it?
Well, you remember every single parking spot that you could park at.
They're all gone.
It's all a building now. Every single one of them are all buildings now.
And all condos.
And that's a lot of power consumption.
A lot. So his answer was just kind of,
we don't know.
yeah, like we know it's going to be a problem.
Or we don't care.
Well, they don't care. I don't know if they're going to figure it out.
It's too expensive to change.
How are you going to rip up the whole city?
You can't.
Right?
You can't.
Same thing with all sewers, and it's not just electrical, it's sewers.
So it's a constant repair. It's a constant Band-Aid.
Band-Aid.
That's all it is.
That's what it is. And you're reacting instead of being reactive. You know what I mean?
Proactive. But I mean, that's the bad way of doing it.
Now, did they know Toronto was going to explode like that 60 years ago?
Well,
I don't know. It's a major metropolitan city.
It is.
So
somebody
must think
25 towers leaving the exit of Spadina. Someone authorized this, or someone had a big fat manila envelope with money in it and authorized these buildings to be structured there and then have one exit to get on the one main artery out of there. Yeah. Like, come on. Like, you got to figure out that this is going to just explode.
And now they're taking over the green space, right?
That's a whole other. It's sad that it's just money driven. It's not.
It is.
But then you look at other countries like Sweden or whatever, and they don't have any debt. They're not carrying. Everything's infrastructure is all beautiful. It's set up. It runs. Everything works. Why aren't we paying attention to that? Why aren't we looking at other cities, countries?
My dad and my mom just went to one of those river cruises, the European river cruises.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
They went down
that must have been cool.
Yeah, so it was in the Danube River.
Okay.
So I think they did like Prague and Germany and Switzerland.
Yeah.
So you come down the river. So anyways, my dad, in each day you stop and get out and do your thing. And my dad was saying like, dude, you have no idea. Like even in Paris, he took the subway. Like you missed the subway, 2 minutes later there's another one coming.
Have you seen Paris's subway map?
He goes, what we have is such a joke.
It's like a spider web.
He goes, I think he was in Switzerland, Switzerland or maybe Germany. Like the streetcar system they have is unreal.
The trams, yeah.
Like we're so far behind.
I know.
Like Europe is on point.
Which is a shame because they came here to build the new world.
Yeah.
And then they kept on building correctly and we kept on building incorrectly. Starting from incorrect now.
Yeah.
Which is such a shame, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I don't even want to be here because you don't see how it's going to get improved.
I don't know.
I don't know how it can get improved.
That's what I mean. I don't know how do you even go about that?
You can't.
Major metropolitan city, like, hey, guess what? We need to rip up everything and start
everything
fresh.
else is there for the major part,
Yeah.
like most expensive places to live.
Yeah.
Where like how the
What do
cost
you think
of
it's
living,
gonna cost now?
Yeah, it's insane. But you don't have the infrastructure to carry all that shit.
Materials at an all-time high, labor at a high rate.
That's right. You guys are everything's kind of still reasonable or still stupid. Is it leveling out?
I think for me, the stuff that I get, but I try also kind of, the supplier I work with has been so great. So we kind of, if I kind of use you, my loyalty is more to you.
Of course.
Then let's make a kind of a deal here. I'll do things in bulk, right? Buy things in bulk. And so there's savings there. I think Romex is still crazy expensive though. Romex is crazy. What did I get the other day? I was doing a hot tub, and I had to get some tech cable. I think it was like $20-something a meter.
No.
Yeah, 6'3" tech. I think it was like $20 a meter, $22 a meter. And I think I remember looking before. It was like 12, 13 a meter. Yeah.
Are they just price gouging us?
I was watching, it's funny you say that. I was watching at CP24 today.
Okay.
And they came up because all the banks are releasing this week their profits.
Okay. Their bonuses?
Yeah. So they're Q3, right? Scotia was crazy and all of them.
They've never been in the black.
The one that stuck out was the oil and gas. I don't know if you saw it.
No. It's depressing to watch.
1,000% increase over last year. Profit. So why is it going up?
Because they got to maintain those bonuses.
Right? So next year they need to do more than 1,000%. They got to do 2,000%.
Yeah.
Right?
It sucks.
So I thought that was pretty disheartening to read
Very
that.
much.
Right? you're making 1,000% over last year. So, and like we're talking about billions of dollars, trillions maybe, right? They didn't give a number; they just gave a percentage.
You know what it is? It's a bank robbery.
Yeah,
Everybody's just taking as much money as they can while
Yep.
shit's going on.
yeah,
Just keep on grabbing the money bags.
yeah. And then the homeowners think that you're using that as the excuse.
But as tradespeople, we come in and then we're the punching bag that, can you lower your price? Can you lower your price?
Oh, we talk-
Can you
yeah.
lower your price?
Right? You have the guys who, sadly, you see them on Marketplace or Kijiji. So I had one. I quoted a job to do. I think it was like 60 polyts in a house. I said give them a quote. Everything was good. They sent me a snapshot of the Marketplace ad. I think the guy was doing it for $30 a polyte
To install.
to install, installed labor, everything, $30.
How? How is he doing that?
Well, I told him, I said, first off, he's probably not using a CSA approved LED light.
He's probably
There's a lot out there now
that you can buy.
that you can
You
buy.
can probably buy them on Amazon.
$3,
Yeah.
$4, right? And they're not the ones that I use,
Scary,
right?
man.
They're probably not getting an inspection done. But it's not apples to apples.
How would that work if a homeowner gets a tradesperson to install that, they paid for that product, it's not CSA approved, and there's a fire, and the insurance finds out that pot was not CSA approved.
Mm-hmm.
Is your insurance claim now void?
I would think so, because part of when you get your license, part of ESA's rule is that you're not allowed to install
Unauthorized
CSA UL. You're legally not allowed to install it, and you'll get a defect from ESA.
So technically speaking, if you do,
Guess who? It's on us, right?
exactly.
Yep. So, and I try to explain people. I don't know. I think we talked about it
Yeah.
on the phone one time,
Yeah.
but there was a point where I was really trying to explain to people and educate them what the difference was.
Did
this-
they get it?
I don't think they care. I think it's the bottom line that
They'll
they
care
can
if
get.
there's a fire.
They'll care until the fire happens.
Yes.
Once the fire happens, they'll care. But up until that point, well, I got 60 pot lights for a third of the price or whatever it is, right? And I said to the one guy, and it sticks out in my head. I said, do you have children? He goes, yeah, I have 2 little ones. I said, I have 2 little ones too. I don't care. I don't care if you go with me. I just don't want you to go with him. Right? Call around. Call other people. Companies that are on Google, call them. Not Marketplace or anything like that. Because, first off, you have 2 children in your house. And also your house is probably the biggest investment in your life right now. What's going to happen when, God forbid, I'm not saying he's going to do a bad job. Maybe he's the best electrician.
Yep.
He just wants to do it cheap. I don't know. He's a nice guy. What are you going to do then when the insurance tells you sorry?
Based on our investigation.
There's no permit. You have polyts. We never knew about polyts.
That's the other thing is a permit.
Yeah.
Permit voids your insurance claim.
Yeah.
If you do not get an ESA permit or
You're
a building
voiding.
permit, and they find out,
There was alterations, which you'll know right away with polyts,
yeah,
right? So are you willing to take that? Is that really worth that? Like,
a lot of people are.
we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars here.
They're totally willing.
And I
to
say,
take-
God, I took it to kind of the next step, because I said, God forbid something happens to you or your family.
Yeah.
Would you live? I couldn't live with myself thinking something happened.
But all these marketplace Kijiji guys are.
Right?
They're making
So-
a living from it.
And I don't know what other electricians out there that you're talking to are saying, but they're killing it.
I think every homeowner should do their own homework and find out, like, if you've gotten 2 quotes,
Yeah.
one, let's say it's yours, it's legit, everything's all in line, and you got another one from that's like dramatically lower, you have to tell yourself that you have to get at least
Third
2
one.
more quotes.
Yeah,
At least
exactly.
2 more quotes.
Yeah.
Because if those 2 quotes skew towards the cheaper guy, okay, then fine.
I
This
get
guy
it.
is given a bad price.
Yeah.
But if they're skewed towards this guy, yourself, and it's in line,
Something's funny here.
then the really discounted guy is wrong.
Yeah.
And then, but they don't want to hear it. Maybe they don't
They don't
want
want
to
to hear
discover
it.
it.
No, and then you know what? After a couple times, I stop. I stop.
Got spectators.
I saw that. I just stop trying. Like, this is the price.
There's only so much you can tell the homeowners. In the end, it's their
I get it.
house.
I'm a homeowner.
Yeah.
I have a budget, right? But to me, if it meant holding off for another 3 months and saving and being able to get it done that way, then that's what I wanted to do.
That's what I've told clients all the time.
You know?
If you can't afford the right price that it's supposed to be,
Yeah.
then you wait.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to wait.
No one wants to. They want it now.
It's not we're wishing that there's going to be an accident just to go, I told you so. I'm just saying we don't want that accident to happen.
Yeah, and I'm not, I hate going out and bashing other guys. That's not me. I don't want to start telling you everyone you find on Kijiji or Market. There's good guys out there that are just trying to
I
get
agree.
things going,
I agree.
right? Get your name out there. But man, it doesn't make, the math doesn't make sense. And you don't need to be, even just as a homeowner, think, how much does a guy get paid an hour? It's going to take him 3
What did you say,
days.
20 bucks or 30?
$30, I think it was.
$30 a pop.
I think now I saw one the other day for 40. So they're slowly increasing, but so just do the math yourself. You don't need to know anything about anything. A roll of Romex at Home Depot cost me, let's say, $280
For 150 or 75?
150, I think it is.
Okay.
280, maybe. I think
$300, huh?
Yeah. Remember, it used to be like $1 a meter, 90 cents a meter, something like that.
Yeah.
So, so let's say 250. So you need a couple rolls. So you just start doing the math. Something doesn't make sense here, and you don't need to know anything about electrical to realize that. And you have a professional who's trying to explain to you. I'm not trying to upsell you. I'm not trying, don't go with me, but just don't go with him.
Just get 2 more quotes.
Yeah, go out, call a few more people, Google electricians in my area, go on HomeStars, go on.
You know what they'll do?
Trusted Pros.
They'll go back to Marketplace and then get 2 more quotes from there.
Right. So, or then they want to beat you down and do cash. Right. Yeah. Cash jobs.
It's almost the same evil at that point.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't get it. It's their home. Their family's there. They're there.
I don't understand the cash game anyways, because really, as a contractor, whether you're electrician, GC, anyone, cash is probably the worst possible deal you could do. How are you recouping all the HST that you paid?
But everybody,
well,
they're hiding it somehow.
Yeah, you fill around with it. But you know what I mean? You're paying taxes on this
I
material
know.
and you're going to take cash. I don't know. It doesn't.
There's still a
make
record
sense.
because no matter how you slice it, you have to get a permit, electrical permit to do the job, right?
Right.
So that's the first thing you're doing. This other person is probably not doing that.
No.
So
permit.
once you have a permit and you have scope of work, then you got to document what's going on.
Yeah. Isn't it wild?
It's crazy. I've never done it. I've never hired anybody like that.
It's the one thing that I had the hardest time coming from commercial to residential was competing with those types of things.
Because there's a lot more in residential.
Huge, to the point where it's not even to me, I get so frustrated and you just feel beaten. I spent all this time on Saturday morning. I drove out and I quoted it and I gave such a fair and honest price. To the point where you're already doubling, questioning, that's
the number
okay.
good, too high.
Then you give it to them, and then they come back, and it's a third of. It's man, I just spent 8 hours of my time, and it's happening every single time you go out, or not every single time, but a lot more than not. Because I don't even want to do it.
All you can do is just say no and go to another client.
You know what? And unfortunately, I think the guys out there too. I know a few newer guys. I think when they get slow, they get scared, so they'll just eat up
take whatever.
Yeah, I'll do. He did it for 300. Yeah, I can do it for 300. He'll do that, but then it's going to start as standard, right? Now homeowners oh yeah, see, I told you to do it for 300.
I just don't know how they're making. The only way they're making money by pricing it that way is that they don't have anything legit, so they have no insurance for their business. No. Right, they're maybe not even certified. They don't have a license,
right.
So they're not getting the permits. So they're rushing things. They don't have to wait. There's not the procedure. And then there's no warranty. And there's no guarantee that if anything goes wrong, they're ever going to come back.
Right.
The number you reach is not in service.
Yeah.
Is what's going to
Doesn't
happen.
care.
Yeah.
And then God forbid something happens, your insurance says, sorry. And then
it's on the homeowner.
Now what are you doing? You have $500,000 to knock it down?
Let me do a little green book talk here. Potential hazards of PVC wire insulation. Did you know this? It's dangerous.
No.
This is right? Yeah. Many electrical wires are insulated with polyvinyl chloride.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Another PVC. Yep. PVC contains dioxin, one of the most toxic chemicals ever produced. That's lovely. U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the lovely EPA, suggests that there is no safe level of dioxin exposure. Thus, any dose, no matter how low, can result in severe health damage, including cancer, immune system damage, and hormone disruption. PVC is flame resistant, but when accidents happen, the heat from overloaded wires and faulty wiring can cause the plastic to melt or even burn. Melting PVC releases dioxins in the air. They have long-term effects on health when inhaled, and the immediate danger, however, occurs if PVC is burned. When burned, PVC releases toxins, hydrogen chloride gas, and has been known to kill those caught in house fires before the flames reach them.
That's right.
It's chemicals, man.
Chemicals.
It's dangerous. Matt, what else you want to chat about as we get close to wrapping it up?
Is it already that time?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I got a little timer here, man.
Yeah, that's great.
No, it's just I know that I like that you have a lot of hope for the new generation.
I do.
Right? That's good to see
Yeah.
and hear.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the stuff, even the new generation, new things coming out. You know, these kids are smart now. My kid knows how to go on my iPhone. He's 4 years old, right? He knows how to work YouTube. So,
Yeah.
you know, he's probably going to be an engineer maybe. Who knows, right? But these kids are smart now, you know, and I'm excited to see what kind of things they come up with. Yeah.
Well, the industry, the technology that's coming out,
Yeah.
they're trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
We're getting closer and closer to George Jetsons and all that
Yeah.
automation stuff, and
Yeah.
come home and you start speaking to everything
Yeah.
and all that shit, right? That's
Have you
just-
have you ever done have seen many of those I think they're like Leviton panels?
I've seen them.
Have you done any?
I haven't done any.
Yeah,
It's just, it's way out of my client's price range.
Yeah, it's
Way out.
pricey.
It's six figures,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
When you start getting into that world.
Yeah.
Versus when you outfit a house these days, average is what? Maybe a 2,500 square foot house. You're in the 60K, 70K to wire a house.
Yeah.
Now you
Yeah.
you want to bark that number up to 250
Yeah.
to 300K.
I know.
Clients are not going to easily bite
No,
that.
it's cool though.
It's
so
extremely
cool.
cool. Extremely cool.
Yeah.
You can read all your power consumption. You can
Oh, yeah.
you can mess around. You can
Everything's
control
by your
lighting
phone,
all by your phone
right?
or by a panel
Or by the
Like
pan,
you can
yeah.
do a bunch of stuff.
No,
It's
I
very
love
very
it.
cool, but it's so expensive.
That's the stuff. That's the problem. I want to see this stuff start coming down, and we can start doing a lot of cool
I don't think
things.
they will. I think that line
They got their
item-
niche market,
Yeah.
and it, you know, if they sell one or two a month, and that's what keeps them going. You know, whatever that. Obviously, they're hitting that quota.
Wasn't that the thing with EV and Tesla? Like, weren't their price supposed to drop?
That's what
Because
I thought.
more and more were being sold.
I thought the more it was like the opposite. The more people were buying, the less they were going to cost to build.
Yes, but that hasn't happened.
No.
So it's
Probably
the same
gone
thing with home automation. It's a perk.
Yeah.
So if you're charging so much, why would you drop it? You're
Mm-hmm.
going to make more money if you keep it. It's costing you less to produce it,
Yeah.
but we're not going to drop the price
Yeah.
because whoever wants it is going to buy it.
The less you sell, it's actually more expensive for you. Right. What do we know?
It's good. It's good that you got that optimism in there, man. I think a lot of electricians nowadays are seeing a really good amount of positive
Yeah.
kids that want to get into the industry.
Yeah,
and that
I
trade.
think kids are excited now too with all the OYAP stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, I think it's great. You don't know what to do, go into OYAP, do electrical, do HVAC, do gas fitting, see where you like, why not, and go from there. It doesn't matter, you know. Even if you do 3 years of electrical, you don't like it, jump into another one. You
When-
see guys on trade. Oh, I like what he's doing. Okay, go check it out.
You can jump on that one as well.
Go jump on it.
You and James, when you guys take on your first apprentice, what's the first thing you want them to do on the first day? What should they do and what shouldn't they do?
I've talked about James because James is obviously younger.
Yeah.
So he's not as old. He calls it old school. Not old school.
He's in his 20s.
Because I used a hacksaw. He doesn't know how to use a He actually used a hacksaw a couple weeks ago for the first time. He had to do conduit, and he forgot his sawzall somewhere, or bandsaw. He goes, "Oh, I don't have my bandsaw." Okay, no problem. I have my sawzall. Oh, sawzall. I don't know. I don't think his dad took it out of his truck or something. So he had to go to the supplier and bought a hacksaw. And he called me like, "Oh, this was bullshit. What's going on with this?" I said, "Dude,
What, you got to move your arm?
yeah, right." So he said he struggled, but I thought it was pretty funny. I remember using a hacksaw for 4-inch pipe and double unistrut, and
I got a funny story about a hacksaw where we were doing a standby generator. I was fascinated because I was curious about it.
yeah,
So we had the tech cable.
yes,
It was a big unit.
yeah,
and the apprentice was there.
Mm-hmm.
And the electrician said, cut it right here. Marked it on the tech. Yeah, you know where this is going, right?
Yeah.
So he marks it, but he cuts through.
Yeah, and hits the wire.
No. This is before it's being installed.
Oh.
And so this is the final connection to the actual generator.
Okay.
So you got to cut through here, but you have to cut the sheath in.
Yep.
So he just cuts clean right through and doesn't leave the sheath in, like he doesn't remove the sheath in. So he cuts. He's basically 4 or 5 inches short now, and he can't reach the generator. Generator's parked hard pipe with gas.
Yeah.
So
on a pad.
And
probably.
then all I hear is like, he's like huffing and puffing. He wants
Yeah.
to say it, but he can't say it. He's wanting to say it. And I was like, what happened? He goes, no, don't worry, man. You didn't see anything. It's all good. It's all good. Whatever.
Yeah.
Just tell me what the hell. And he tells me what happened. I was like, okay, well, what do we do now, man? So they tried to jimmy the tech through the whole house to try to get that.
Certain ways. If we go this way longer,
It worked, but you literally had to, like, it was
right
tight through the whole wall, right?
It's happened.
It's happened before, but
I'll never do it again.
The kid just like, here, cut it here. He didn't think about removing the sheathing.
That's right.
And having the extra cable to do the final connection.
You said cut it here, right?
And that ain't a cheap wire either, right?
Oh.
That was it had to have been about 1.5 inches tech. I don't even know what size it was.
So we
were servicing.
the biggest one I've done is 750. It's probably about 3 inches.
Yeah, it was not that big. It was.
But when you get like and that's copper. A commercial, we do a lot of aluminum. But
and he was grimacing as he was going with the hack.
When you do copper, it's not a good feeling, right?
Techs are all aluminum, right?
Yeah. Nope.
No, they're copper.
We do copper. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if it was copper.
It was probably copper. A lot of the generators want copper.
He did such a good job of fishing that whole line from the panel all the way through all the studs. And like I left him just enough space to get it so he wouldn't have to fight it and then get it there. And then he cut it right here and then he cuts it short.
It all fell through.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But little things you learn. You'll never make that mistake again.
I think someone told, I don't know if it was like my grandma, but she said the difference of being foolish and stupid is a fool will make a mistake. Being stupid, you'll make the same mistake twice.
Yes.
Right? So
yeah,
I'll never get mad at anyone, even when I was a foreman, about messing something on site. If when I come and you tell me that it happened and you can give me a logical answer, like I thought, okay, I can see where you're getting it from. You're wrong.
Point. Yeah, exactly.
But you have to make mistakes. We've all made mistakes.
Of course.
Right? So as long as you learn from it, let's just move on and get it over with.
That's it. Matt, I got to do the 12 questions with you. You ready for that?
Yeah, sure.
I just want to share everybody again. www.mjelectric.ca. Email is mmccarthy@mjelectric.ca and also info@mjelectric.ca. And on Instagram, it's M and the word and J Electric. What is your favorite construction word?
My favorite construction word. I didn't even prepare anything.
No, you don't have to prepare.
I forgot about this.
I just ask. I send it to you. I send it to everybody.
My favorite construction word would have to be send it.
What is your least favorite construction word?
It's so cliche, like can't.
It's true. It's not cliche. What turns you on in construction?
A nice pipe run. You get like 10 pipes together, all water falling down the same bed. Oh,
I know, right? All lining up, spaced the same. The turns are just. I know. It does look beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And those are still exposed in commercial applications.
Yep.
Always exposed when you get to the elevator room or mechanical rooms. What turns you off in construction?
Just grumpy people, bad attitudes. Miserable to be at work, then don't be at work. Quit. Don't like it? I'm not asking you to be here.
Go get a job at the bank.
Yeah.
What's your favorite curse word?
It's got to be fuck sakes.
Fuck sakes.
Fuck sakes.
What's your favorite vehicle? Anything in the world?
Just went out to a client's. They had a Porsche GT4.
It's nice.
Beautiful. Not really a Porsche guy, but that one
looks nice.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It makes you look.
Yep.
Makes you look. What's your least favorite vehicle?
Fucking Honda or BMW.
Honda or BMW?
They drive me crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Either or, huh?
Either or. They're both the same category. Get out of my way.
What construction sound or noise do you love?
Man, the nailer gun. Oh, no. You know what I really liked?
What?
I changed my answer. Coming on site in commercial, like we do high-rise, mid-rise, and you get like 20 drywallers on a floor, and then all the screw guns.
The rhythm? You hear that sound?
And there's like 20 of them going, and it's just everywhere. I don't know why I like that.
It's nice.
It's like production.
Yes.
It's really smoke and mirrors. It's just a screw. It's production. It sounds like a lot's happening.
No, it does, because you can go upstairs and see just metal studs.
Yeah.
And then by lunchtime, it's half covered.
Yeah.
Because they just boogie.
Yeah. Half the wires cut in the box. Yeah.
I know. That's a whole other thing. What construction sound or noise do you hate?
When drywallers or framers, whoever's doing the steel studs, use the friggin' hand saw to like cut the studs, circular saw. Have you ever seen that?
It's like it's a Beaver Electric.
Yeah.
Like it just chops it up.
Yeah.
What's going on?
But it's like that sound, that high pitch.
Because you got the metal blade screaming with the flexible steel stud.
Oh man.
Why do they do that?
I don't know. And we're talking about like big companies here, like that have all the tools. Like
They don't want to get the proper. They don't want to get the proper saw.
No, the guy's just too lazy. Circular saw here on a steel stud.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Oh, what would I like to attempt? Give me a sec.
Sure.
I think I'd do a gas fitter.
Gas fitter?
Yeah.
What profession would you not like to do?
Plumber.
You don't want to be a plumber?
Service plumber.
Where did this rivalry come from between plumbers?
Nothing but love for me.
But,
Nothing but love.
But there's like something
I think it's just like over the years of just razzing, I think it turned into something.
That's what it is.
Right? I don't mind. I could do new plumbing, but send me on a service call.
You don't want to do
that's
service?
that's not for me.
A lot of money.
Yeah. And so they absolutely they should
Back to the Porsche. Plumbers in Porsche.
They deserve every
They
single
buy
penny.
them.
Yep.
They drive them.
Yep.
They enjoy them.
They deserve every single
They
penny.
do his shit every day.
Yeah.
Last question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at those pearly gates?
Good job.
Good, man. I totally forgot to ask you. Are you a Makita guy?
No.
Milwaukee.
Mostly DeWalt.
Mostly DeWalt? Sparky?
Yeah. Don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
I think when I started, that foreman must have been a DeWalt guy, and that's how. So it's just cheaper now to buy the bare tool. Like I have gazillion batteries. I do have some Milwaukee stuff. We just bought the Milwaukee 10-ton punch, electric punch for panels and boxes and stuff.
I don't even know what that is.
From 1/2 inch all the way to 4-inch holes for conduit.
Really?
Yeah. You just put it, punch.
How much is that thing?
It was $2,400.
But you'll use it.
We'll use it.
You'll use it. Battery operated?
Battery. Yeah. M18. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy? Reasonable.
The whole case as a set is heavier than Sin.
Wow.
But yeah, it's not bad.
2,400 though. Wow, you'll pay that off in
one job.
One job.
Yeah,
exactly.
one job. You could punch out 30 holes in 5 minutes.
Wow.
By hand, we used to do it by hand, right? The ratchet, the green lead ratchet. Or guys put them on their impact. That drives me crazy.
You're making the tool cry.
Yeah.
The tool's not designed for that.
I said, man, James, I'm getting too old for this.
Look, there's tears coming out of that chuck right now.
Forearms cramping.
I know.
Then you got to get a piece of conduit and put it on the handle to give leverage.
You're smelling smoke.
Yeah. So
you're not seeing it, but you're smelling it. And you're like looking around.
Is that me?
The tool is crying and smoking. And like, why are you killing it, man?
Yeah. Guys that don't use cutting oil.
I'll just get a new one.
So
that's it, man.
But we'll see.
Matt, thanks so much for being on the show, bro.
Thanks so much for having me. This has been
awesome. Thank you for the gifts.
And absolutely.
Honestly, man. Honestly, dude, come back anytime you want to come back.
Love it. We'll bring James next time. He's
got
a better voice than me.
Does he?
Absolutely.
What's he going to sing?
Probably a little bit of ABBA or something.
He's too young to be ABBA. You gotta be
He called the other day oldies. I forget what song it was. But
what is he, stuck in a young body? What's going on there? Oldies?
Yeah, he called me oldies. I was like, dude, I was like in grade 9 when that came out. I'm offended. Deeply offended.
Everybody, check him out. M&J Electric, www.mjelectric.ca. M. McCarthy at mjelectric.ca and info@mjelectric.ca. And it's on Instagram, M and the word and J Electric. And you'll do any work. You'll come out to Toronto.
Absolutely.
All the Toronto area.
Yeah.
And also out in Kitchener and Waterloo area.
Anywhere.
For anybody who was listening, KW is Kitchener Waterloo.
Yeah. We've gone up to French River.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, you guys are commuting.
Custom
How many
carriages.
clicks on the Ford?
That's a rental.
That's a rental.
I got T-boned, 7 months
Ouch.
ago. I still have a rental.
It's the same thing with Steve. Steve had his rental for the longest. What's going on with how come the trucks are not
Just busy.
someone taking your chip or something like that? And
Yeah. So they wrote a total loss.
wow.
I just got the check cashed a few weeks ago for the payment and just been too busy.
So now you got to go buy a new truck.
Yeah.
What are you going to get? Same?
I like a 1,500. I was looking at the 2,500, but I think 1,500 is better.
Are
For
they
now.
still 90 grand, 80 grand?
I found some, about 80, 82, 79. So nice Dodge 1,500.
Yeah.
Get a few bells and whistles on it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Bro, thanks, man.
Thanks.
That's it. Thank you, Angelina. We're out of here.
Love it. Bye.